Hello everyone and welcome back to the UConn Huskies Dynasty. The Huskies are 1-1 after a dominant victory over an FCS school. But today we'll play against Duke, a team that is much tougher. We are going to make some changes to the league this week. I think that 11-minute quarters might be a bit too long. Games have been very high scoring, which is pretty normal in college, but it's a touch too much, I think. I'm going to go down to 10-minute quarters. And I am also going to be turning off roughing the kicker for now. I think I'll leave running into the kicker. That seems to not happen super frequently, but roughing the kicker is happening probably at minimum twice a game right now. And this seems to be the case for most people. So I'm just going to leave it off until we have a patch that makes them happen a bit less. Also, I am absolutely turning down the music volume. I like the drum line, but my goodness, is it loud. We'll go all the way down to 50. I'm also going to up the crowd volume. Don't know why that was so low. Crowd volume is very fun. And if you were curious, I am currently just playing on default Heisman difficulty. I have not touched any of the sliders, of course, obviously, other than turning off roughing the kicker. I may play around with these a little bit later in the season, or maybe going into season number 2. To me, it does seem like quarterbacks are a little bit too accurate. So I may look to reduce QB accuracy. I may wait until somebody that is a little more competent with sliders releases a slider set of their own. We'll see. But to be honest with you, the game is playing very well. It's very fun and I'm having a great time, and I hope you guys are enjoying the series as well. I've been thinking a lot about where the Huskies are at right now. We're a 78 overall team, which is not all that bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not that bad. We've got a very easy schedule this season. We obviously don't play within a conference. And most of our really good players are seniors. We're going to be losing a number of these guys going into next season. And I wouldn't be shocked if the Huskies take like a 3 overall dip. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is that this is probably our best chance early in this series to get to a bowl game. The Huskies are sort of in this weird spot right now where they're decent enough. And the fact that they play a pretty easy schedule this season means that they honestly should be making a bowl game, and they are probably going to get worse next season. So it's almost like the rebuild starts a little bit more going into next year. And of course, rebuilds in college work way differently than they do in a game like Madden. But anyway, let's get into this week's recruiting. Paul Townsend has everyone down to his top 5. I think instead of this social media and friends and family strategy, I'm just going to start sending the house on him. He's a guy I just want to secure as quickly as possible. I don't want to say he'd make or break this class, but he is nearly that type of player. First of all, let's schedule a visit. Let's have him come to visit us in week 5 when we play Buffalo. And we know he likes proximity to home, and he's from Connecticut, so that's a big deal for him. So we can just go for family visit, which is a pretty safe bet. We will also send the house with him, just spending a ton of points on Paul Townsend. He's a 4-star gem, so he's probably a little closer to a 5-star than a true 4-star. Like, look at these numbers from this guy. I'm telling you, this is a dude who could make a significant difference on the future of this team. Barry Wright doesn't have us down to his top 5 yet. We are his number 1 school currently, though. Getting a 4-star D tackle would also be absolutely huge. So we're going to send the house with him as well. Just try to secure these top guys in our class as quickly as possible. I do feel like we're kind of sending the house on a lot of players right now. But these are also players that could make a huge impact on the future success of this school. I think Sterling Walters is absolutely one of those guys. He might not be the best quarterback around, but his ability to run makes him such a unique player. And I absolutely think he has a spot on the roster next season as a true freshman, if we can get him. I'm starting to think that we may not be able to get Marco Portilla because Boston College is just going super hard on him. We can schedule a visit for him, and he has an A+ for proximity to home with us. So we will do that visit and see if we can make some headway on Boston College. We're pretty much definitely going to be in his top 3. I just don't know if we're going to be able to beat out BC. We are still pretty much the only person even remotely close on Joey Terrell. I'm comfortable just leaving the points we have on him. We're making some progress on Bobby Ware as well. David Bliss, we might need to give up on. I'm not certain. We're definitely not putting enough points into him. We're only putting 5 points into him as a right end. It would suck to lose Bliss and Portilla. We're definitely way closer on Portilla. It is hard to recruit here at UConn as we just don't have a lot of hours week to week. So I'm really going after the big names pretty hard and then hoping that we can get some of these smaller names later on. Like Corin Daly would be a nice guy to get, a 2-star D tackle, but I do think we'll be in the race for him for a little while. so we don't really need to spend points on him just yet. Hey, but if we get nobody else, at least we got Johnny McNulty. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I do hope you're enjoying the series. I am certainly having a blast recording it. Today, the UConn Huskies take on Duke. You know, if we were looking at this as a basketball matchup, this could be, you know, a Final Four, maybe a national championship. But we're talking about football, and Duke, a little bit better than UConn, but neither of these teams are great at football. The Duke Blue Devils offense is led by redshirt sophomore quarterback Malik Murphy, who honestly kind of looks like he might just be a better version of Nick Evers. He doesn't have the best speed in the world, but does have a strong arm and is very accurate. Their halfback is Jaquez Moore, who is a very, very good running back, a great elusive back, and I'm sure he will be a problem for us today. Wide receiver 1 is Jordan Moore, and then they've got Samir Hagans, Javon Harvey, Eli Pankel, and tight end Jeremiah Hasley. So the last time we played a team that was at least close to on the level of Duke was against Maryland, and it did not go very well. Let's see if we can stand a better chance today. This is not off to a great start. A huge carry for the halfback all the way to the 49. Jaquez Moore getting it started hot for the Blue Devils. Well, that doesn't exactly give me a ton of hope. They flip the running back to the left side, and then they kind of do this weird end around play, but the Huskies are all over it this time. That'll make it 2nd and 12 from the 48. Back to pass over the middle, finds his man, and brought down at the 44. It's 3rd and 3. This is a pretty good Duke Blue Devils offense, as it's going to be a keeper for Malik Murphy. Breaks out of a tackle, still on his feet, finally goes down, but does get the first down to the 31. So Duke is marching right along, and it'll be another one of those end around plays, and I'll tell you what, we're reading those pretty well. A loss of 7 on that play for Duke. And now they'll likely go to the air here, I would imagine, and they are indeed sending a blitz, but having a man over the middle, and I think he's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Blue Devils. Duke gets on the board first, making it look easy all drive. The running game was working except for those weird end-around plays, and the passing game was easy peasy. 7-0 Duke. Slight change to the offense today for the Huskies, as TJ Sheffield will be playing in the slot. I want to get him more involved. He seems like he could be a big-time playmaker, and that wide receiver 1 position just has not been ideal for getting open. On 2nd and 3, we go play action, and Evers is back to pass. Wants his man down the field. It is Sheffield. He makes the grab to the Duke 46. Duke is challenging the play here, saying that he never had possession of the ball. I'm going to have to beg to differ unless you're considering that a loss of possession. Maybe it is. Well, it was ruled in favor of UConn, so Duke loses a timeout, and we still get the yardage. Victor Rosa in the backfield. And we will go to him, and he'll get a decent chunk of change here, 4 yards. Now on 2nd and 6, we'll go to the air, and looking over the middle for Sheffield, diving play made. This is why I like him in the slot. He can get a lot more involved out of the slot, and he is very fast. As we'll look to throw again. And we've got Brett Buckman open. He breaks out of a tackle, and he's inside the 10. The Huskies on 1st and goal. It's definitely going to be a bloodbath today if we want any sort of chance of winning. Cam Edwards on his first carry only gets a couple yards, gets to the 5. So now we go to 2nd and goal. We're going to lob one back of the end zone. Sheffield punched out. Nice try. Now it's 3rd and goal. We'll try again. Sheffield end zone diving play. Touchdown. This is why I wanted to get TJ Sheffield more involved. He's a dynamic playmaker, and he can make big play after big play. And the UConn Huskies offense continuing to look good after last week. Well, a pretty big return from the Blue Devils on the kickoff means that they have excellent field position. All knotted up at 7. Number 7 will hand off to number 13. I actually think that's technically considered a pass. No gain, though. Our man coverage ability has been terrible so far this season, so I think this might be a team that needs to run a lot of zone. Carry up the middle, though. Doesn't matter if they're running the football and they're past midfield. Jaquez Moore been running all over us today. And now Murphy will throw on the run pass option, gets it to his man, and he's got speed down the field, and the Blue Devils are already to the red zone. And now they're running into a hurry-up offense. 1st and 10 from the Husky 21, making offense look entirely too easy. They haven't really been able to get any pressure on the quarterback either until this play. I spoke it into existence. A loss of 7 on the sack. That was Dalmont Gordine in the backfield. Love to see that from the big fella. Now it's 2nd and 17. Looking to get perhaps another big stop. It's going to be a throw from Murphy. Stepping up in the pocket, throwing downfield, swatted away. Well played. 3rd and 17 to go. Could be a huge stand for the defense here. Murphy back to pass. Running out of time. Yates is back there. Steps up, throws over the middle, misses his mark, looking for the running back. And now they'll attempt a field goal. Is Duke's kicker good enough to make a 45-yard field goal attempt? I guess we'll find out. Kick is up, and that is money right down the middle. Somebody get him an NFL contract. 10-7, but the Huskies defense able to hold them to a field goal this time. So there might be a little life in the roster as we'll lob this one up. It's TJ Sheffield. Moving him to the slot was the best thing we could have done. Evers is on fire as well. On this play, though, we'll go to the ground with Cam Edwards. Room to run, and can't quite get the first, but it is a pickup of 9. 2nd and 1. Evers back to pass. Is going to lob one up for TJ Sheffield. He's got it. It's a touchdown for the Huskies. TJ Sheffield in the slot is an elite wide receiver. And Nick Evers is playing out of his mind today. The Huskies able to complete a huge play here. Evers getting that one off just before taking a hit, and Sheffield with a step. Well, now we find ourselves with a lead, 14-10 for the Huskies, and the first quarter not even over yet, as this is another one of those end-around type plays, and it goes nowhere again, a loss of 5. I think they've run that play 3 times and have lost a grand total of like 11 or 12 yards. They could let this go to the end of the first quarter. They will not, and it's a carry that goes nowhere again. Julian Simon with a TFL. That brings us to the second quarter, and it's 3rd and 18. Just got to make sure that they throw it short and then make a good open field tackle. Murphy back to pass over the middle. Exactly what we wanted, and it works out perfectly for the Huskies. 4th and 10 Duke, they'll punt it away. Can the offense keep it going? Can Nick Evers and TJ Sheffield keep cooking? Or did we blow all of it at once? Well, on this play, it's going to be handoff to Victor Rosa. Not a ton of room to work with, though. 2nd down and 7. Evers to throw. Not a lot of time. Gets it off, but it's punched out of Brett Buckman's hands. That was a big blitz from the Blue Devils. And now we're to 3rd and 7, and they're sending the same one. We try to get it to the tight end, and he holds on. A great play by Nick Evers. Standing strong in the face of pressure, got it to the tight end, and we have a fresh set of downs. 8 minutes left to play here in the second. Cam Edwards going to get the carry, a running lane up the middle, and that's going to be a first down and a bit extra. Gets to the Duke 42, and Victor Rosa subs back in. 1st and 10, Rosa will take the carry. Manages to get through a small gap there and just short of another first down. Empty backfield, we will look to throw, and Victor Rosa open over the middle, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and then is laid out, but he's inside the 10. It's 1st and 10 Huskies, somehow not 1st and goal, but we'll take it either way. I guess we are just outside of the 10, according to where the ball was placed. It's Cam Edwards in the backfield, and he will get the carry here. A little bit of room to work with to the outside, gets 3 yards. Well, suddenly these past couple weeks, the UConn Huskies look like a football team. Just had to work out the kinks in week number 1 against Maryland, I guess, as we'll go to the end zone. Gathings incomplete. That sets up a 3rd down and 7. Evers to throw, wants Gathings again, diving attempt, and it's a touchdown for the Huskies. The 3rd one on the day, this time to Josiah Gathings. It'll be 21-10 UConn, assuming I can continue to make kicks. Oh, this is a great return for Duke. Only one man to beat, gets around the edge, and he breaks another tackle, finally goes down at the UConn 42. So our special team's not doing very well. That's the 2nd big return they've given up. 5:23 left in the first half. From the UConn 42, it's a decent carry, a pickup of 4. They go to the hurry up. Jaquez Moore still in the backfield, a tight end back there as well. And they will go for the carry with more. He spins off of a defender, finds some room to the outside, and gets a first down. Hurrying it up once more, and now flipping the play. Sort of defeats the purpose of the hurry up, I guess. But whatever floats your boat, Duke, as this will be a handoff to Moore again, goes nowhere. Loss of 2, in fact. Either they get a big carry on the ground or they go backwards. Those seem to be the 2 options. It's never small gains. Well, immediately I eat my words, as that's a pickup of 1. 3rd and 11. This would be a long field goal attempt if this falls incomplete, but it's not going to. A man wide open up the seam, fighting for extra yardage, and hits the goal line. Touchdown, Blue Devils. Duke able to find the end zone after UConn really started to run away with this game. But the Blue Devils not going to go down quietly. Should be 21-17. A holding penalty on the kick return has us starting from our own 8-yard line. And the crowd's starting to get back into this one. Handoff Edwards, nowhere to go. He loses 2 yards. And I think that's only going to energize the crowd. On 2nd and 10, Evers back to pass. Wants the man over the middle, nearly intercepted. That was a risky throw. And now we go to 3rd and 12. Evers takes the snap, lobbing one down the field. It's Brett Buckman with a step, and he's hit in stride by Nick Evers, and he gets near the enemy 30. A huge throw from Nick Evers to Brett Buckman, who beat his man off the line. The Huskies get out of the dangerous territory and get into Duke territory. Nick Evers playing incredibly well today. You love to see it. 1st and 10 from the Duke 32. Victor Rosa going to try to get to the edge with his elite speed. Does just that. Tries to juke to the outside, but probably loses a couple yards because of it. 2-minute warning has come and gone, and the UConn Huskies are moving it down the field. Look to throw on this play. Over the middle, have a man. It's Josiah Gathings. Under a minute and a half left. So we'll look to throw over the middle. A great throw by Nick Evers, but TJ Sheffield can't hold on. Should have been Sheffield's 3rd touchdown grab, Evers' 4th touchdown pass, but it was punched out. And now we'll go to the air again. This time looking for Victor Rosa. Tried to get behind the blocker, but just could not do so. 3rd down and 8. We'll kill as much of this clock as possible before taking the snap here on 3rd down, unless Duke decides to use one of those 2 timeouts they have remaining. So with 45 seconds left, we'll take the snap and we'll go to Victor Rosa near the sideline, fighting for the yardage, and he gets it. 1st and goal, Huskies. I personally thought he was just short, but he got there, and now it is 1st and goal, and we can kill even more of this clock. But we'll take the snap here, throw for Victor Rosa, room to his right side, but he's met in time. And we will burn our 1st timeout. If we can do this right, we won't leave much time on the clock for the Blue Devils. Not that 23 seconds is that much time. Evers takes the snap, throws towards the end zone, swatted away. Nice play by the safety. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 3. Evers back to pass. Nobody's open. Tries to step up in the pocket. Nowhere to go. And we'll just call a timeout with a couple seconds left and try this field goal attempt. This new kick meter does not make this particularly easy, but that kick is up and it is wide to the right. Man, I am terrible at the new kick meter. So we head to halftime with no additional points, completely on me. I held the button too long, which gave it too much power, which means he shanked it to the right. 21-17 at the half, though, is pretty good. TJ Sheffield, 9 targets, 5 catches, 114 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the first half. What an animal. Huskies do start with the ball here in the second half, though. It's not the end of the world. Victor Rosa gets the carry to start the half. 2nd down and 7. It's play action, and we'll just dump it off to Cam Edwards. Lucky to get that one off at all, and he'll just go out of bounds at the 33. 1st and 10. Evers to throw. Wants his man over the middle. Finds Sheffield. Kind of a dangerous throw with the linebacker lurking, but it works out. 1st and 10 from about midfield. Rosa in motion. It's going to be that jet touch pass play that we love so much. Lots of running room here to the right side. This play seems to work every time, and it does so again. Touchdown, Victor Rosa. He's one of the fastest guys on the team, and that's why he's such a utility on the offensive side of the ball. And the Huskies will start the second half with 6. You know what I just realized? The crazy thing about me missing that kick by kicking it too hard is that it was like a 22-yard kick. I could have just like tapped the button and it would have gotten enough power. But instead, no, I had to max out the power and whiff the kick like an idiot. So now we'll see the Blue Devils for the first time offensively this half. Down 28-17, but they are keeping it close. We have not been able to get many stops defensively. There's one though, 2nd and 10. Unlike Madden 24, zone coverage actually appears to work in College Football 25, which is a nice addition. 8 minutes left here in the third. Play goes underneath to the tight end, and that's Famuina Brown who makes the tackle. And now it's Duke in the hurry up. Gonna look to convert here on 3rd down and 5. Malik Murphy calling an audible out of the shotgun. He then takes the snap, finds his man open enough over the middle of the field, and gets to the 44. That's Samir Higgins. Fresh set of downs for Duke as Murphy throws on the RPO, finding his man, getting laid out though. In the hurry up once more, 2nd and 2. Malik Murphy takes the snap, fires on the RPO again, and that is completed once again. Still hurrying it up, trying to gas our defense, and it's probably going to work. Screenplay set up, doesn't get very far, a pickup of 2. And back to the hurry up they go. 3rd down and 8, not the most easy to convert down in distance. Murphy, though, has a lot of time, but now it's running out and down he goes. He's actually back behind the 50 before he goes down. And it's going to be 4th and 19 for Duke. 1st and 10, UConn. A great stop there from the defense. If the offense can keep cooking, they could potentially put the game away here with a touchdown, as Victor Rosa nowhere to go. 2nd and 10, Evers back to throw. Big blitz coming from the Blue Devils, and it works out as it falls incomplete. And now we go to 3rd down and 10. Could be a 3 and out for the Huskies here. Evers back to pass, running out of time now. Gonna just lob one up. Scary throw, and it's intercepted. Should not have done that. Should have thrown it away to get the punt off. Instead, it's an interception, and Duke will take over in UConn territory. Really bad play there by Nick Evers. And by Nick Evers, I of course mean myself. 1st and 10 from the 33 for Duke, as this one is completed. Oh my God, 2 UConn Huskies players collided. That interception really gives the Blue Devils a chance to get back into this one. 2nd and 3, still 28-17, as that one also completed to the sideline this time. That's wide receiver Jordan Moore who keeps getting involved. And now Murphy will throw again, finding his man, and then brought down at the 11, 2nd and 6. Preventing a touchdown here would be pretty critical from the UConn Huskies defense. Well played. That stop makes it 3rd down and 7. And we are definitely on for a potential stop here. Under 3 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. Murphy couldn't find anybody, but we couldn't get any pressure, and it eventually opened up, and Duke gets a touchdown. Well, with an interception that far on our own side of the field, you had to expect that the Blue Devils were adding points. Would have hoped it was a field goal. Instead, it's a touchdown. And it'll be 28-24 after the PAT, although I wouldn't be shocked if they go for 2 here to try to get within 3 points. And that is precisely what they are doing. 2-point conversion attempt from the 3, over the middle, finds his man, and the 2-point conversion is good. So now it's 28-25, the Blue Devils within 3. Well, the interception from Nick Evers has given Duke some life. On 1st and 10 from the 10, if I can get the snap off, goodness, that was almost a delay of game, as Victor Rosa breaks a crucial tackle, and that helps him get 9 yards. 2nd down and 1, down to about 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Rosa nowhere to go. The blocking didn't hold up. It's a loss of 2. That sets up a not so easy to convert 3rd down and 3. And we may look to run here. Nick Evers, can he find the first? It's 4th and inches, and they want us to punt here. I kind of want to go for it. Surely we can convert this. I could be throwing the game away, and I think that I am. Cam Edwards can't get there. 1st and 10, Duke. It's like midnight and I'm editing this video to try to get it up for tomorrow. What in the world was I thinking there? Why am I going for it on 4th and inches on my own side of the field when I'm up by 3? Please cook me in the comments. Should have punted that one away. And now we've given the Blue Devils an opportunity to take the lead. As that's a fake handoff. And then towards the end zone, caught in the back of the end zone on the very first play after the change of possession. Touchdown Blue Devils, and they will take the lead. Previously, it was 28-17. Now it's 28-31. UConn has given up the lead with some stupid decisions from the head coach. Man, oh man, somebody take the play calling away from me. I'm throwing this game away. Felt like an easy win in the bag against a better team in the Duke Blue Devils. And now I've just given away the lead. Victor Rosa falls down, pickup of 1. It does not help that the run blocking has been absolutely atrocious. Not that that's really an excuse. So we'll look to throw, and we'll go over the middle for Brett Buckman. And that'll make it 3rd and 5. Suddenly the offense not so easy to come by. And Nick Evers will look to throw here. Buckman over the middle, intercepted. And I'll explain how that happened in just a second. But at the moment, it's another turnover for the Huskies, and we are throwing this game away. I thought certainly with all the improvements they've made in this year's game, with how well it's been playing, that they would have fixed the wide receiver bumping. But man, this screws me, because I can tell that once he goes in between these two defenders, he's going to break open in the middle of the field. So I pressed the button here. I will say the wide receiver bumping in this game is a lot more realistic than it was in Madden. This looks much more just like incidental contact, and there's not really a lot we could do as the player. So I'm a bit more willing to accept bumping like that, where it doesn't completely slow him down, but it still sucks, man. That's the whole reason the interception was thrown. Buckman would have been wide open in the middle had he not gotten snagged. Now the Blue Devils have a chance to go up by 2 possessions. A great move there by Jaquez Moore. Man, oh man, if we lose this game, it's gonna sting really, really bad. Currently down by 4. Looking to hold them to a field goal to stay within 7. Not gonna happen. Touchdown Blue Devils. The passing game has worked all too well for them all day today. And we have officially thrown this football game away. With the PAT, the Blue Devils will go up by 11. And the Huskies will have to make some type of miraculous comeback in the 4th. I don't know what happened. It's like Heisman difficulty just kicked in suddenly. The game was so easy to start and now has been very, very difficult. We'll look to throw here, looking for the halfback. Cam Edwards breaks out of the tackle, hurdles the defender, and gets the first. 1st and 10 from the 37, down by 11. Quick pass over the middle to Nick Harris, the tight end, and he goes down at midfield. There's still time in this game for sure. It's not over by any means. This could still be winnable, although Nick Evers runs into a sack. Now it's 2nd and a very long 21. We go play action. Evers will look to throw. Not a lot of time, just has to throw this one away. There's an injury timeout, which scared me for a split second, but it's to a Duke player. 3rd and forever. Evers back to pass. Gonna lob one up to Josiah Gathings, swatted away. And on 4th and 21, we really don't have a choice but to punt it. Need a 3 and out from the defense here if we want a chance to win. That's pretty much the only hope we have. If it's not a 3 and out, the game's probably over, and I really appreciate them continuing to try that play because we just have it read completely. And now it's 2nd and 16, and we might get that 3 and out we're requesting. They're running it up the gut, though, and they're getting all of it back, and they get the first down. Never mind, no 3 and out. A running play we were absolutely not expecting. And it gets them the first down yardage. That is a brutal hit to morale on that play. 1st and 10. And it's an RPO, and they go with the P option. They should have gone with the R option. It's a loss of a yard. See if they keep it on the ground here. Probably just wanting to chew some clock. Murphy will actually throw over the middle. Man is wide open, and our man-to-man defense is absolutely atrocious. That's why we need the guy Paul Townsend that we're trying to recruit so hard. But he's not going to want to come here after a throwaway game like this. I'll tell you what, though, this game does give me some hope because this is honestly one of the tougher opponents we have on the calendar all season. And this is a game that we should have won. We've thrown it away here in the 4th quarter. And by we, I mean me, of course. But if we can just clean it up a little, we could have a very good season with how weak our calendar is. Our offense looks like it's very strong. And that is a sack for Dalmont Gordine, his second one on the day. 2nd and 20, 4 minutes and some change left to play in the game. And it's a fake handoff, and then Murphy downfield. It's intercepted. This could breathe some life into the team. Millett the third on his way down the field, tackled by a lineman at the 35. Wait just a minute. I was talking like we were down and out. That interception might give us a chance. That's Lee Millett the third with the interception, and the Huskies might have some life. It's a screenplay set up for Victor Rosa, cuts it back up the middle, and that's going to be a first down. By the way, guys, if you are not using the cut button, the left trigger to change direction button, that thing is so good in this game, even better than it was in Madden 24. Victor Rosa gets 9 more yards. Find ourselves on 2nd and 1. Nick Evers running to his left, gonna maybe look to take off, but that is so well played by the defender. Can't even be mad at that because that is an extremely realistic play by that defender. I know that wouldn't have happened in Madden 24. So we'll go to the middle of the field, and it's punched out of Nick Harris's hands. So the play here is honestly to kick the field goal, and then we'll have to get another stop and get a 2-point conversion with the touchdown. Yeah, I think that we just have to get the points. That's assuming, of course, that I can make the kick. Oh, I don't think I did. I definitely didn't. I got to learn this kick meter, guys. Well, now we are down and out. I'll tell you what, though. I like the fact that it's so hard to make kicks on Heisman difficulty. That stuff is brutal. It makes a good kicker actually feel very worth it, and we're pretty much just going to let this one tick down. Well, we were able to get a garbage time touchdown to make the score look more respectable, but man, oh man, that feels like a game we should have won. Something about the second half, we just couldn't get anything going offensively, a couple dumb mistakes, going for it on 4th and inches. I was certain we could get a half a yard, if that. The really bad interception, and then the second interception off the wide receiver bump. Just a really unfortunate turn of events in the second half. But like I said, that actually gives me some hope. This is one of the better teams we play all year. This is an ACC team. All of our other opponents, for the most part, are going to be weaker than the Duke Blue Devils. We have a serious chance to win 6, 7, maybe even 8 games this year if we can play just like that and just limit the mistakes. It's a shame for the 2 interceptions because honestly, Nick Evers had such an incredible day. 25 of 37, 67% completion percentage, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Rushing, Victor Rosa, 11 attempts, 49 yards, 4.4 a carry, and Edwards, 6 for 25, 4.1 a carry. Receiving, Rosa, 7 for 115 and a touchdown. The man is just involved constantly. And look at TJ Sheffield now playing in the slot, 7 for 163 and 3 tutties. One of those being the garbage time one we got at the very end. Josiah Gathings got a little bit more involved today, but it looks like he mostly just gets that super short yardage stuff. He's only a junior, so we will rely on him heavily next season, I'm sure. Nick Harris with 3 grabs and Buckman with 3 for 88, 29.3 average. Defensively, it's Malik Dixon-Williams with solo tackles, and then Lee Millett the third with 7 total tackles. 3 TFLs for Julian Simon led the way, and 2 sacks for Dalmont Gordine. A pick for Lee Millett really gave us a little bit of hope there at the end. If only could learn how to make field goals, man. That could have made that game a lot more interesting. When it's on the far hashes, it genuinely makes it a lot more difficult. But in college football, kickers miss constantly, obviously way more than they miss in the NFL. So it's nice to see that they made kicking significantly more of a challenge. We are up to level 4 as a head coach, which does give us 10 more of those coaching points. I guess we'll just continue to put points into recruiter for our guy, and we'll go O-line with this one. I apologize for that loss, ladies and gentlemen. I really feel like that should have been a win, and I feel bad about it. So here's a recruiting update after advancing the week. Portilla has his top 3 schools, and it's really only a top 2. Syracuse is technically there, but it's us in Boston College. And I think we probably need to give up on David Bliss. He is so close with Boston College. We're gonna have to put a ton of points into him. It's probably just better to remove him from the board and get the points back. He is supposed to visit in week 6, but at this point, I just don't think we can really contend with Boston College. Robert Schmidt is a 3-star D tackle that is very close to committing to Rutgers, and maybe we look to put some more points into him. It might be easier to come back on him than it would be on David Bliss. We are currently the top school on Barry Wright, who has reached his top 5, and we're now the top school for Sterling Walters as well. Unfortunately, a safety that I really wanted, Alexander Vohasek, has committed to Syracuse. I don't know if we were ever in contention. And then we are currently the #1 option for kicker Dylan Missy. Lee Millette III gets Defensive Player of the Week. Good for him. And TJ Sheffield, very unsurprisingly, gets FBS Independent Offensive Player of the Week. 7 for 163 and 3 tutties. Let's see how the top 25 has changed, if it has at all. Louisville went up by 1. Notre Dame went down despite a win. Utah drops a small amount, and so does Florida State. Otherwise, it looks like it stayed mostly the same. Iowa State has made the rankings after previously not being ranked. Others receiving votes are Missouri, Nebraska, Georgia Tech, and Wisconsin. Wisconsin was the team previously on the top 25 and fell out. They must have lost. Oh, Wisconsin most definitely did not get upset. They just lost to Alabama, but they did lose in pretty embarrassing fashion. Wow, lowly Kennesaw State is 2-1 after upsetting San Jose State. Colorado does finally get their first win against Colorado State in the Rocky Mountain Showdown. UCF able to beat TCU, though I don't know if that's an upset at this point. UCF has become a very good program. San Diego State over Cal is a little bit of an upset. Other than that, really no big name upsets to mention. In the next episode, we take on the Florida Atlantic Owls, who are just an 80 overall down the board. They're a decent team, but they are technically worse than Duke. We just gotta clean it up. But anyway, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and for the continued support. If you find yourself coming back on the regular and you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that sub button for me. It does help me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next episode where we're beating FAU. Mark my words.